Biology is an increasingly popular major due to its wide range of potential use. What is biology? Biology is the study of life centering around living organisms' functions and characteristics. Majors of biology have a flexible curriculum. There are many different paths you can take with this degree, such as teaching or going into the medical field. Some of these jobs include becoming a biology teacher, neonatal surgeon, park ranger, biological research assistant, health educator, food scientist, environmental scientist, and a forensic scientist, according to Williams University. Teaching biology is a very important job position. In order to become a biology teacher, you must obtain a bachelor's degree in biology. Then a background check is required. If you pass the background check, you are able to take the professional teaching knowledge exam. If you complete these steps, you would go and get your teaching certification. These requirements are per the American Board of Education website. A day in the life of a teacher is very busy. In a pre-college teaching setting, a teacher must be prepared to teach different grade levels and spend the majority of the day in a classroom environment. It is the teacher's duty not only to teach students as a group, but also to help them individually. Aside from teaching lessons, teachers must also plan, grade, and prepare lessons, and arrive early or stay late for school meetings. The average salary of a secondary education biology teacher is $32,458. Samara's choice of career path is becoming a neonatal surgeon. A neonatal surgeon is a surgeon who specializes in surgical procedures specifically for newborn infants. Neonatal surgeons specialize in surgery for critically ill and premature newborns and perform procedures that can help correct problems at birth. Neonatal surgeons go through extensive training, but the average $281,879 salary makes up for it. An article from Indeed lays out the steps to becoming a neonatal surgeon. The first step in becoming a neonatal surgeon is to graduate with a bachelor's degree in biology. After you have obtained your bachelor's, you can get into medical school and receive a medical degree. You can only apply for medical school once you have completed your bachelor's. You must take and pass the Medical College Admission Test, the MCAT, to gain acceptance into medical school. The next step is to complete a residency and get your certification. After obtaining a medical degree, prospective neonatal surgeons spend up to 5 years in surgical residency programs. After general certification, prospective neonatal surgeons must attend a fellowship for neonatal and pediatric surgery. Once you obtain certification through the ABS, you are eligible to enter a neonatal, perinatal, or pediatric surgery fellowship. You must complete this additional fellowship experience to qualify for licensing as a neonatal surgeon. After the fellowship is completed, you can apply for your specialized certification in neonatal surgery. Neonatal surgeons work a fast-paced job with emergencies right around the corner, so they have to be quick and ready. A typical day could be as follows: working 16-plus hour-long shifts depending on whether you are on call, spending hours in the OR performing life-saving surgeries, checking on patients and communicating with the patient's family, and researching different techniques to perform surgery. Exercise science is another major highly popular major with current and incoming college students. What is exercise science? One of the simplest definitions of exercise science is the study of movement and the functional adaptations that come with it. Exercise science is an interesting major because it is multifaceted. Exercise science works to link together exercise, science, fitness, and all-around health according to the George Fox Institute. Exercise science is also a subfield of kinesiology. Kinesiology is the study of human movement through the understanding of mechanics, anatomy, and physiology. Exercise science has a main focus on human response and adaptation. There are many job opportunities that come with a degree in exercise science. Jobs in gym and fitness facilities include being a personal trainer or director, group exercise trainer or director, wellness director, member or sales associate, or a sports coach. The medical-focused side of exercise science also offers a wide range of jobs, including but not limited to physical therapy, physical therapist assistant, occupational therapist, surgical technician, and recreational therapist. Exercise science majors are not limited simply to fitness and medical jobs. Exercise science also includes the opportunity to become an exercise and sport physiologist, cardiac rehabilitation specialist, healthcare specialist, health educator, massage therapist, and recreation director. Because exercise science is so multifaceted, there are many subfields and areas of study that come with it. The top 5 subfields of exercise science are biomechanics, sports nutrition, sport and exercise psychology, exercise physiology, and motor control and development. Biomechanics is the first main subfield of exercise science. Biomechanics mainly focuses on the structure and function of biological systems, specifically concerned with the effects that forces have on the motion of bodies. According to Britannica, biomechanics has a wide range of applications, specifically cardiovascular biomechanics, cell biomechanics, human movement biomechanics, occupational biomechanics, and sport biomechanics. Another subfield of exercise science is sports nutrition. Sports nutrition is aimed towards treatment of athletes and aims to optimize athletic performance before, during, and after physical activity. This is done by focusing on the biochemistry of nutrients and how those nutrients react during metabolic function in athletic versus non-athletic bodies. There are many different important areas in sports nutrition. Some of these include how protein utilization in the body is affected by exercise, the timing and composition of meals in relation to their best anabolic response in an athlete, how essential amino acids really are, the role and use of carbohydrates in sports activities, how beneficial ribose is in the performance of high-intensity athletics and sports, how important creatine is in sports, and how proper hydration in athletic activity can influence athletic performance. Sport and exercise psychology is an important subset of exercise science. The APA organization describes sport and exercise psychology as involving the scientific study of the psychological factors that are associated with participation and performance in sport, exercise, and other types of physical activity. The main goal of exercise and sport psychology is to help athletes attain the highest level of mental health to boost performance. There are 2 main focus areas in exercise and sport psychology. The first is to help athletes use psychological principles to achieve optimal mental health and to enhance performance. The second is understanding how participation in sport, exercise, and physical activity affects an individual's psychological development, health, and well-being throughout the lifespan. Exercise physiology is a very popular set of study in exercise science. The College of St. Scholastica describes the main focus of exercise physiologists as helping people become their best physical selves. The profession can be as varied as helping athletes reach peak fitness, guiding people in their journeys to lose weight, or rehabilitating patients suffering from chronic illness. These goals are achieved by studying bodily responses to physical activity and how the body reacts to these responses. There are 2 different types of exercise physiology, clinical and non-clinical. Clinical exercise physiologists provide programs for those suffering from chronic healthcare conditions. Non-clinical physiologists work with mostly healthy patients for different goals, such as strength gain, weight loss, or overall physical fitness. There are many jobs in exercise physiology which only require a bachelor's degree, but some jobs on the clinical side require a master's degree to practice. Specialists in motor control and development often study exercise science in college. Motor control and development specialists study motor control as a complex process involving the coordinated contraction of muscles due to the transmission of impulses sent from the motor cortex to its motor units. Motor control is described as the process of initiating, directing, and grading purposeful voluntary movement. The goal of motor control and development specialists is to reduce the level of cognitive thinking needed for completing a task or skill. This goal is accomplished through 2 main theories of thinking. The first theory involves studying the production of reflexive, automatic, adaptive, and voluntary movements and the performance of efficient, coordinated, goal-directed movement patterns which involve multiple body systems. These processes are also known as input, output, and central processing. The second theory revolves around studying the multiple levels of the nervous system and its movement patterns. My current career path, and also a career path I would recommend, is physical therapy. Physical therapists are movement specialists who improve quality of life through prescribed exercise, hands-on care, and patient education. The national average salary for a physical therapist is $89,440, and the average salary in North Carolina is $86,600. Because physical therapy is a medical occupation, there is a longer educational process other than exercise science, those other related occupations. Indeed has an article which helps guide how to become a physical therapist. The first step in becoming a physical therapist is to earn a bachelor's degree in a related field, such as exercise science. The second step is to complete a DPT program, formerly known as Doctor of Physical Therapy. The requirement for a physical therapist used to be an MPT, or a Master's of Physical Therapy, but in recent years the requirements have risen. During the second year of DPT, students complete their white coat ceremony and enter a clinic for hands-on rotations and supervision by a clinical instructor. While UNCW does not offer a DPT program, the university is able to set students up for success with their bachelor's degree and application process for the program. After completing a DPT program, an aspiring physical therapist must pass the NPT, known as the National Physical Therapy Examination. This exam is provided by the Federation of State Boards of Physical Therapy. The NPTE has 250 multiple-choice questions divided into 5 sections and is scored on a scale of 200 to 800. A score of 600 plus is considered passing. The next step after passing the NPTE is obtaining a license to practice. Each state has different criteria for licensure. Most require passing the NPTE, but states differ in criteria such as background checks and compliance training. After licensure, there are 2 more optional steps to increase knowledge and job opportunities. A physical therapist can complete a residency program, which includes additional training, coursework, and clinical experience. After licensure and gaining work experience, a physical therapist can apply to be a board-certified clinical specialist through the American Board of Physical Therapy Specialists. The areas his physical therapists can specialize in are cardiovascular and pulmonary, clinical electrophysiology, geriatrics, neurology, oncology, orthopedics, pediatrics, sports, wound management, and women's health. In order to become board certified, an applicant must, at minimum, pass an exam and complete an APTA accredited residency program, which consists of 2,000 hours of clinical work. There are several qualities employers look for in physical therapists. These qualities include compassion, time management, dexterity, attention to detail, communication skills, physical stamina, and creative thinking. A physical therapist can be hired to work in many places, such as hospitals, outpatient clinics, sports training and fitness centers, inpatient rehabilitation facilities, nursing and extended care facilities, patient homes, schools and education centers, and most recently, virtually. No day of work in physical therapy is the same due to the unique patient load each day. Physical therapists often arrive at their place of work between 7 and 7:30 a.m. to prepare for the day. These preparations include cleaning and sanitizing the workplace, reviewing the patient list for the day and corresponding treatment plans, gathering necessary paperwork, tools, and activities for patients, blocking out treatment schedules based on patient treatment plans, and lastly, reviewing and preparing instructions based on notes from previous therapy sessions. Physical therapists typically see their patients from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. During this time, physical therapists participate in hands-on work such as soft tissue work and stretching. PTs also teach their patients new exercises to do both in therapy and at home, and go over pain relief techniques if needed. It is important for a physical therapist to take notes during their sessions with patients to track progress and have a record of notes to share with the patient's medical team. The last hour of the workday from 4 to 5 p.m. consists of patient review. This time is used to analyze patient progress by comparing notes from that day to notes from the patient's past sessions. Physical training has become an increasingly popular occupation in the past few years. To wrap up, we have an interview with Mrs. Benzel to tell you her personal experience as a personal trainer.
Builds on this question actually. Do you think that like just personal training by itself is a sustainable job, or do you think like I know you have the ice cream business? Do you think you kind of need like another job on top of that, or something to fall back on, for instance? What's your
Well,
opinion?
I think that the ice cream business for me is more like of a fun thing to do and maybe add on some extra cash flow.
Okay.
Personal training is definitely sustainable as a full-time job, but you really have to build up your clientele. So you're not going to start off, if you work for a gym, you're going to get a percentage of what they make. So you're not going to make all that much to live on and support a family, for example. But if you work it for a long time and you build up clientele over a couple of years, it's definitely sustainable. I could do that and make a great living just doing that without having the ice cream business on the side. So
Okay.
it's just really being willing to put in the time
Yeah.
to build up a base of clients.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Do you have like how many clients you look at like a day? Do you like work with?
I work anywhere from 6 to 8 a day.
Okay. And I know
So it
like a
just
lot of
depends.
personal training. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
know a lot of personal training is like moved to online nowadays. How much are you looking at online versus in-person training, for instance?
Yeah, I'm actually doing more Zoom clients now than ever, and really more than I'm seeing in person. So I probably see 1 to 2 in person, and the rest are all Zoom.
So 1 to 2 like per day?
Yeah,
Okay. How long
yeah,
do you usually
and
like range like your sessions?
30 minutes to an hour. The vast majority of people I work with are an hour, but I do have probably 30% are 30-minute sessions.
Okay. I think that might just be about it right there. I
All
can't really
right.
think of anything else that I had. I had my questions down and I had a little bit extra, but that's about all I got.
Okay.
Anything else you
Well,
want to share about personal training that you can think of?
yeah, I would say that if you're going to go into personal training, one of the things you need to think about is just you have to be good with people. That's more of the
Yeah.
business than the actual physical work at all. Making those connections with people, helping them learn to trust you. That's
Mhm.
going to be everything into building your business. If you don't have that, it'll be really hard to make it sustainable. So work
Yeah.
on building relationships with clients, and you'll be great.
Okay. Do you see like any clients or not clients necessarily, but any people fail just based on relationships? Like, do you think you can be like a really good trainer and then if you're not good relationships,
Yeah.
then business is gonna fall?
I have seen that firsthand. Yeah. I've seen one guy in particular I can think of a few years back. That was exactly him. He was a great trainer, but he just couldn't talk to people and he couldn't relate. And he was very, um, he wasn't understanding about somebody's inability to do something or
Okay.
needing help with it. So he did not do well and he ended up going into a different line of work. So yeah, I've
So you have to
seen
be
it.
like
It
an
does
understanding
happen.
person, pretty much. You have to be really
You have to be
understanding.
understanding. You have to be empathetic is a big deal.
Yeah. I bet you
And you have to be willing to be a counselor a lot of times,
yeah,
although you're not a licensed counselor, you have to be able to
do
listen to
that.
all the problems and they'll talk about relationships and stuff like that. And so you have to be able to maintain that kind of relationship with your clients that they feel they're in a safe, comfortable place.
Yeah. So I know you just mentioned counseling. Have you ever considered
Mhm.
like a counseling role as well? I know because you said you do that a lot with your clients. Have you ever
Actually,
considered that?
I'm actually working on my master's right now in counseling.
Okay.
And most of my clientele are in recovery from eating disorders. So
Okay. Yeah.
I work in a referral basis with those clients. So having that degree will really help me kind of hone in and do all of it in one place.
You're looking at being really busy soon, coming up.
Yep.
How much more
Yeah,
time do you have on
for
that?
sure. About another year.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else you want to share? That's about all I had.
I think that's about it.
All right, that works for me. I'm as bad as You have a good day. Good night, I guess.
Thanks. You
It's what
too. Yeah.
8:45. Builds on this question actually. Do you think that like just personal